Good day everyone! Today we will be discussing one of the most essential topics in computer networking. Configuring VLANs or virtual local area networks. This presentation will help us understand what VLANs are, their importance in real-world networks, and how we configure and verify them on switches. Let's begin by looking at an overview of what we will cover in this presentation. This presentation will cover the following: an introduction about VLANs, what they are, and why they matter, the importance of VLANs and their role in improving security and efficiency, different types of VLANs commonly used in networking, and we have VLAN configuration basics, understanding access ports, trunk ports, and tagging. And we have step-by-step VLAN configuration commands, verification commands to ensure VLANs are properly set up, and finally, a summary to conclude our discussion. Now let's start by understanding what a VLAN is. What is VLAN? VLAN stands for Virtual Local Area Network. Unlike a traditional LAN where devices are grouped physically, a VLAN allows us to group devices logically. Even if they are spread across different physical locations, this means that computers, printers, or servers can belong to the same VLAN, regardless of where they are connected, as long as they are properly configured. For example, in an office environment, employees from the HR department may be grouped in one VLAN, while employees from IT may be grouped in another VLAN, even if they are on different floors of the building. This makes VLANs flexible and scalable for growing organizations. After knowing what VLANs are, let's talk about why they are so important in modern networking.
Importance of VLAN. VLANs bring several advantages to network management. Improve security. By isolating traffic, VLANs prevent unauthorized access between departments. For instance, the HR VLAN can be separated from the IT VLAN, keeping sensitive employee data safe. Reduce broadcast traffic. In large networks, broadcast storms can slow down performance. VLANs contain these broadcasts with their own group, improving efficiency. Simplified management. VLANs make it easier to move devices between logical groups without physically rewiring. Cost-effective solution. Instead of buying new physical switches for every department, VLANs provide segmentation using the same hardware. With those benefits in mind, let us now explore the different types of VLANs. Types of VLAN. There are several types of VLAN, each serving different purposes. Default VLAN. By default, all switch ports belong here, usually VLAN 1. Data VLAN handles everyday user traffic such as email, browser, and file transfers. Voice VLAN optimized for VoIP to ensure high call quality and with minimal delay. Management VLAN dedicated for switch and network device management, ensuring security for administrative access. Native VLAN used to carry untagged traffic in trunk ports, acting as a default path for unmanaged data. Now that we know the different types, let's look into the basic configuration concept of VLANs.
To configure VLANs properly, we must understand three key components. Access ports. These connect directly to end devices such as PCs or printers. They belong to a single VLAN. Trunk ports. These are used to connect switches to other switches or routers, carrying multiple VLANs across a single physical link. VLAN tagging. Based on IEEE 802.1q, tagging helps identify which VLAN the data belongs to when passing through trunk links. Now, let us move on the practical steps in VLAN configuration. Configuring a VLAN involves three major steps. Create a VLAN. Assign a VLAN number and give it a name. Example, VLAN 10. Name HR. Assign ports to VLANs. Connect devices to access ports and link them to a VLAN. Example, assigning fast Ethernet 0/1 to VLAN 10. Configure trunk ports. Connect multiple VLANs across switches using trunk mode. Example, setting fast Ethernet 0/24 to trunk mode. After configuration, it is crucial to verify if everything is working properly.
Verification command. To ensure VLANs are working correctly, we use different commands. First is show VLANs brief. Display all VLANs configure and the ports assigned. Second is show running config. Show the active configuration of the switch. Last is ping. Test connectivity between devices within the same VLAN to confirm proper setup. So this verification step ensure that our VLAN implementation is successful and functioning as expected. This project and presentation were prepared by our team composed of dedicated students who collaborated in researching and compiling this report. Together, we have learned the fundamental of VLANs and they contribute the real-world networking solution. So finally, let us conclude our presentation.
To summarize, VLANs are essential in modern networking because they provide security, efficiency, and flexibility. They allow us to logically segment networks without physical constraints, making them highly cost-effective. We discussed their importance, different types, configuration steps, and verification methods. Thank you for listening, and we hope this presentation gave you a clearer understanding of VLANs and their role in networking.